right. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Life According to Brian.
And Jason.
And, hey, guess what? We're both in the same room today. And we're going to be talking about some various different sports topics. So it's nice to have you here, dude.
Man, Arkansas is nice.
Yeah, so we're... Jason lives in the Denver area. I'm a former Colorado sports lover. Still follow all the Colorado sports from Arkansas. And today... we're going to talk a little bit about why listen to sports on radio. Obviously, we're a different generation. We're in our 50s. We grew up a little bit more with radio, say, than the current generations. But, Jason, why listen to hockey, baseball, even the Broncos on radio? What's the point?
You know, it's just the personality of the announcer. The announcer becomes like a friend, like a person you know, and you're like, hey, I want to hear what's going on. You know, I want to hear their opinion.
Right.
They just tell you stuff, and the way they say it is, you know, just awesome. So it's more like that, you know. I've been listening to the Rockies and just kind of heard from talking to you that Jerry Schimmel, a longtime announcer there, just was asked to leave from Cuts.
So a second time.
So, which is interesting because usually baseball, you kind of want two people talking, but.
Right. Especially on the radio broadcast.
And I know people have different ways they do that.
Right.
Like they'll have sometimes one guy will talk for a while and another guy talks and doesn't do as much.
Right.
Of course, Bob Uecker, listening to him for years, he would just kind of go off and be on his own.
Right.
So anyway, so I don't wonder what the Rockies are going to do. But Brian, why do you like to listen to sports?
Well, you know, even though baseball is a shorter game now than it traditionally used to be, you know, you had this mindset of like, man, I got to dedicate 4 hours of my life to watch a game, you know, whether it's football, anything. And, you know, even though, yes, in the evenings, maybe on the weekends, you can sit down in front of the TV. I think it's much better just to have it on in the background. You know, I can do other things. I can kind of sit in my office or out in the garage. And that's one reason I love satellite radio is I can get even motorsports. I listen to Formula One on the radio because I don't want to pay, you know, the subscription prices to all these sports. So if you're a sports lover and you look at what's the NFL package going to cost you, what's the MLB package going to cost you, there's no way I can visually watch that much media.
Right.
But I can listen to media when I'm doing other things. And that's nice, you know, just put it on. And they're different announcers than what the television has. Like, you know, I don't like listening to Tom Brady all that much, you know. A lot of sport, you know, TV personalities are different than radio personalities. Radio personalities really have to drive it home on your interest. Why? Because it's a single format. There's no visual.
Right.
You know.
And when you said watching a race or listening to racing on radio, I've never played hockey, but Conor McGregor or Conor McGahey on for the Avalanche, he just paints such a great picture. So I'm trying to figure out how does it get painted really well with racing? What do they talk about, dude? I mean, I'm just saying, how does that go?
It is a little interesting because racing is not the same as a continuous. It's, you know, there's no start and stops that many, but it's the same as any other sport. It's the announcer that makes it interesting. And what they choose to focus on will either keep you playing or turn it off.
Right.
And, you know, Formula One, obviously they use foreign accents. That's interesting. If you notice how foreign accents influence in American sports announcing, you notice that? Yeah. Let's keep people's attention. It's a different tone for us to listen to. And you're like, oh, that guy just said a cool word, you know?
Right.
And so that's why, you know, I do it, one, for monetary, but two, I just find announcers, especially announcers, have a different set of vocabulary, and they'll keep my interest through that. So.
Yeah, Connor, I keep bringing him up, but I love him because he brings up movie quotes. He'll say, "Good evening, programs," and start out, and then during the game, something will happen. He'll just quote some movie thing, whether it's a goal score
right.
something stopped. And they do tell stories. I imagine, going back to the racing, they probably tell a lot of stories of racers or the team.
Or they talk super fast, like when the action happens, all of a sudden, off they go, and they make it really exciting, and then a crash. Oh, my God, Then you're trying to visualize what's going on. I think the funny thing this year is I listened more to the Rockies on the radio, and they had just a terrible year, 119 losses. It was brutal. But the inflection in the voices of the announcers, I mean, it kind of felt like the movie Major League, or Euchers.
Right.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to, excuse me, keep the interest of the crowd, but it'd be an 18-2 game or something. That's just it's so bad. But they tried, which watching on TV, I would have turned that off a long time ago. Versus on the radio, I can let it play. Why? Because I'm doing other things. I'm partially invested, I guess. So.
Well, and we were talking radio is. How much do we listen to radio? I'm a little bit more of a radio person, I think, maybe than you. I will go in and listen to a radio station, a regular station more than not, whether it be pop or country music or heavy metal. And I think you were saying you might not as much readily, but, just the landscape of radio in general. I mean, the fact that they would cut a sports from a baseball is very radio rich in history of being on the radio. So, wow. But what about you? Do you I will listen to regular radio when I get in the car right away. And do you do that?
No. Everything's satellite radio. Tanis, she likes more Spotify. So if we're in the truck, chances are she's streaming Spotify. But I think the downside of radio is sometimes the length of the commercials allows you to channel flip versus music on the satellite side is commercial free, on Sirius.
Yeah.
You listen to sports. Yeah, you get the commercials. You listen to other content, you get the commercials, but that's maybe the one thing. What I don't like about satellite radio is, they're on a loop. You can tell. So if you listen enough, you're like, oh, yeah, that's the algorithm running. Like I listened to John Mayers, and he does these little anecdote, kind of like these little quips, these little stories, very interesting. But I put it on in the shop. I'll be woodworking. And like 2 days later, I'm like, yeah, I heard that already. I heard that already, Right. So that's the downside of that versus live radio is live radio. It's never the same.
Fresh.
Right.
They got to keep going.
Right. So I don't know. I don't even have one preset for a local radio station here in my truck. Yeah.
Okay.
So I bailed. I'll listen to if I need to find something or I'm feeling a little like,
Wait. Do you not have the Naturals on your preset? The minor league team here?
No.
Drive away from the ballpark?
Actually, I have to go through the app on that, and I can I think I can listen to it through the app, or I just find it, but listen to minor league baseball. Not quite that. I don't quite have that much free time, Jason. Jeez. But what's interesting is, oh, crap, I lost my thought, but, I know what it is. I have a couple of favorite radio stations from Colorado.
Okay.
KBCO, right? Yeah. And then the one up in Carbondale, the life of me. I'll put that on. That is a great radio station. So I'll just put those on. So I'll find them on the web. A lot of times I can just go straight to their website. I don't have to go through iHeart.
Right.
And find them, put them on, just listen to them, just get a taste again of those local radio stations. Yeah, there's kind of a public radio station in Carbondale where they have kind of like local disc jockeys. It's all volunteer. Yeah. I even did some interviews there when I worked up in there and in that area, and it's just got a great vibe.
Well, like you were saying, you're in your wood shop. I'm out cutting the grass or
Mm-hmm.
cleaning things in my garage, trying to organize it so it looks as good as yours. The time can fly when you listen to radio and you're like, whoa. And, it's just a good way to pass the time. It's an alternate way. I guess talk radio is what I'm talking about, I guess, but no, regular radio too. I will listen to in my garage. But it's just a different way. But sports, do you think you have to have played the sport? Because like I said, I didn't play hockey and I'm pretty good. I didn't race.
No, I didn't. No.
Do you think that matters at all or not?
I don't think so. I don't know if the next generations are as interested in sports as we are. I don't know. Because that's what we had. We didn't have things like social media or YouTube. So
yeah, they can get information all the time.
Right. So sports was a nice outlet, when we were growing up. I hated when I missed, remember NBC, Wide World of Sports, come on. And if you were not in front of that TV at that time, you didn't see it.
Right.
It was done. It was done. It was over. You're not seeing it on replay ever again. So that's kind of like radio. If you knew something was coming up on radio and you missed it, damn it. Because they kind of give you a lead. Like, oh, coming up, we're going to be playing so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so's new hit coming out. You get distracted. Like, oh, damn it, I missed it.
Or the All-Star game, just telling stories about your favorite player.
Right.
You just love to hear about your player on your for your team and what they would say about him.
But now, kind of use this as like we're trying to convince people to listen to radio, but podcasts are big.
Yeah.
Why do you think that has maybe the new version of radio? I guess
people have interests, and on this podcast, we're trying to talk about many things, but. Personality. Hey, hope you're listening to this and you enjoy what we're talking about and learn about a little about Colorado and Arkansas and two past teachers who work together and just our take on it. I think that's what people do. People like stories.
Yeah, because I was kind of like, what's with this podcast thing when it first came out? Like, why the hell would I do that? Listen to that,
Right.
But
and here you are.
Here we are doing our own. What? That's ridiculous. No, but do you think video podcasts will replace podcasts?
I think people who like that do. I think now they have you can do both in one without your phone turning off. Like at first you had to have the YouTube on. And then if you had YouTube off, you couldn't, that's annoying.
Right.
But now you can. People kind of want to see. I kind of like not seeing someone at times, like, how do they look? How do they, I don't know. I guess it's a different format. I'm just doing something.
Well, my daughter, she's not even 30 yet. She listens to podcasts, and most kids, they like these little earbud things and they're working out, doing things. So I guess it's the same thing. They can multitask while they're listening,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I feel like that's the only thing I can multitask in the world is I can actually listen to the radio while I'm doing something. And I haven't cut a finger off yet.
There you go. That's good. So. Just staying focused. You're making all those cuts.
Well, when I'm running saws, I can't hear it anyway. But anyway. Hey, quick segment. We love Denver sports. Finally, the Rockies hired a new general manager. And he's coming from the Cleveland Browns, but his previous career is the Moneyball fame. He was with the Athletics back in the day of Billy Beane. And so he was a baseball analytic guy over 10 years ago because he was with the Dodgers. I forget, whatever. And what is his name? I don't even know. DePodesta or something. But he was with the Browns, which had been the saddest football team under his influence. Now, he wasn't the top dog.
No, but
he's driving the bus with the top dogs there. And talk about a dumpster fire of an organization. So that makes me nervous as a Colorado Rockies fan. Yes, he had previous glory. But, God, you got to look at the present. Like, if you're running a dumpster fire right now, Oh, guess what? Come to the Rockies. What's your take on that?
Thank God they got someone out of the organization. That's the biggest.
Oh, look at you.
Please and thank you.
Being a ray of sunshine over there.
Please and thank you. Hey, anything's better. See, throw it at the wall. See if it holds. His biggest choice will be who he picks for a manager, which I hope is someone outside the organization.
Yeah.
And the person is able to do what they want to do, bring in their staff. I think that's very important. But obviously, he's going to be a big numbers guy.
Well, the Rockies are notorious for keeping their own people in-house. And that's what has led to, I feel, a decline.
Yeah.
Because if you're not growing and you're not learning from what's outside the organization, you're slowly declining. And that's what we've seen. They just slowly deteriorated so bad that they didn't even know they were irrelevant.
Yeah. Of course, the division's tough as you know what. So it's a deep hole. But you know what? I'll be there listening on the radio as they claw their way out of the pit of despair, Brian.
Yeah. Well, you obviously have talk radio on all the time. I come over to your house and in the kitchen, you got talk radio. What do you think Denver Sports is saying about this right now?
They don't talk about it.
What?
There's nothing to talk about.
What?
The Rockies are irrelevant.
Oh, they're
irrelevant.
Oh, they've been relegated to the side.
The biggest problem was, how many games are they going to lose? Wow. They got out of that record. Oh, well.
Oh, well. Rockies who?
Broncos, Avalanche.
Oh. Okay. Now that's bad when AM Sports Radio won't even talk about you.
I don't even really dive into them.
Well, guess what, Jason?
What, Brian?
We are out of time. Well, thanks everyone for joining the podcast of The Life According to Brian
and Jason.
And until next time, see ya.